Welcome to day 24 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot Challenge. Today's question is grief. What tarot card do you feel is most misunderstood and why? Like a lot of these, I've really struggled because I am relatively new to tarot. I don't do readings for others. I have so much still to learn. Didn't really feel confident talking about which card I thought was the most misunderstood. So instead I'm going to talk about the card that I misunderstood in my own practice and in my own life for a long time. And that's the Five of Pentacles. So I started learning tarot meanings more in depth. I started with the Shadowscapes book, which is great. But again, because my deck likes to use reversals and the deck was not designed for reversals, the book doesn't have the explanations, I did go seeking elsewhere. For a while I used the Golden Thread Tarot app to try to learn from. And would draw this card a lot. And it was just so discouraging because my first thought was always about money. And it was always about this depiction of poverty right here, of being on the outside with the good things inside and working so hard but still being shut away. And it was finally through reading blog posts and things about it that I came to my personal understanding of this card, which I think is far better seen in the Shadowscapes deck here. So here in this deck we see these people outside of a church, outside of light and warmth and protection as they're out in the snow. And in the Shadowscapes deck here we see what does also appear to be someone outside. There are vines entangling her. But I love how when you look closer in this deck and also in the description of this book, there's hope there for her. She just has to look up and see it. And this is her choice that has her in this situation, and not her despite her choice, which is what I first thought the Five of Pentacles was about. That despite my choices, despite trying to shape my own fate, my own destiny, it was still only hard knocks, only despair and disappointment. But again, in this card, you see the heart, you see the dragon coming up and being in there, the butterfly. It's so many marvelous symbols there. And I've mentioned earlier that Elliott Oracle's daily tarot draw interpretations have been very helpful for me, and his description of the Five of Pentacles references back, of course it's based on this imagery here, and references back to an ancient goddess of poverty who goes around from house to house knocking on the door until you let her in. And once you let her in, she doesn't want to leave. And so in my mind, it really brings it back to it being about choice and it being about personal boundaries, which when I was continuously drawing this card as I was learning, that's what it was about for me in my life as I was learning. It wasn't about material issues. It wasn't about physical financial poverty, but it was about me allowing a poverty mentality. Not like, oh, you've got to believe you're a millionaire, not like that, but believing that I didn't have enough to give emotionally, spiritually, physically, that I was having to fight and struggle really encapsulates this card. So that's a bit rambly, but for me, my mental shift for my first misunderstanding of the Five of Pentacles into what the Five of Pentacles means for me now has been really major in my practice. So thanks for watching. See you soon.